This is a meeting of the Douglas Cemetery Commission. I am Betsy Youngsma. I am the chairman, and this is Sarah, our secretary, and Leon, our
Leo.
treasurer. Leo.
Or Lee.
Or Lee. What would you prefer to be called?
Lee.
Lee. I'll make a note of that. Our meeting is called to order, and all are present. Our first thing on the agenda is the treasurer's report.
That would be me.
That would be you.
Well, I have received 2 bills from A&B Lawn Mowing and Plow Services for the Main Street Cemetery and South Street Cemetery lawn mowing service at $1,450 each. And that was done twice since I have taken office. And I have signed both bills and paid them.
What is our balance in our account? Do you have a balance?
I don't.
Let me see.
You gave me that before. That's the new one. Oh, I don't know where I put it. Sorry.
That's okay. Sometime during the meeting. It's good. Okay, old business. Flagpole update. Is there any discussion on the flagpole today?
Well, I looked in the cemetery. You mentioned that first entrance as you're heading towards Connecticut, across from the town common.
Yep.
The first entrance, there's a stone there
Yes.
next to the red house.
Yep.
I think it would look good in there if there's no plots going in there. That's what
They're all plotted.
they're all plotted.
They're all plotted.
So you'd have to tell me where exactly there's a space for it without plots being anticipated.
You would have to talk to John Furno.
Okay.
My concern is that there's also a flagpole on the common. Should we also have one in the cemetery?
I think absolutely, because it's for the veterans in the cemetery that are buried there.
Okay, so would people still put flags on their graves?
Yes,
So you would have the flags on the graves and the flag?
right.
Okay, do you know how much a flagpole costs?
No, I don't, and that's what I'm looking into. In fact, I called the Veteran Services at Uxbridge Town Hall,
Yeah,
who also take care of Douglas.
that is correct.
And the gentleman is on vacation until next week, so I have to call back. But they told me they are the ones that get the Boy Scouts and whoever to put the
Little flags on,
graves,
yep,
the small flags. And that when I call back next week, they could give me more information on getting perhaps a grant to put up a flagpole and how to go about doing it.
okay,
So I will update you when I get more information.
okay. You can also talk to John Furno to see which plot that you would like to take
Yeah,
to put the flagpole there, because then that will become unsaleable.
right. But isn't there any place where there's no plots, it's just,
Nope, even the person who planted the trees in the front took up all those plots.
really?
Yep. Everything is plotted out by a surveyor, and there's markers in the ground to tell them
Yeah,
apart.
okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of them got lost when somebody put loom on there, but they're still there. If you feel in the ground, you can feel the markers where the numbers are. So all those plots are marked out for sale. So anybody, I mean, the ones I sold today could have been somewhere right where those are, except for in the old section,
Right.
you know.
because down the road, I'd like to look into getting a monument with the names of the veterans that are buried there also, but that would be down the
The
road.
monument over here has all the names of the veterans on it. Does it not?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because I just wondered, because they put a brand-new monument over here, right across from the town hall, in that common.
Yeah, right.
There's a monument of all the veterans on that wall.
Okay. Okay. So maybe we don't need that.
I don't know. I mean, that is something maybe the town would vote on, whether or not you want
Yeah,
the names of all the veterans in two places,
right.
you know?
I was just thinking specific to that cemetery, you know, that specific names that are buried there, but
Yeah, I don't know.
that's for further discussion,
Okay,
future discussion.
so we'll table that for now.
Yep,
Okay, and you're going to find out how much a flagpole will cost.
yes, I will.
Okay.
And if we can leave it up, the flag up overnight, because it has to be illuminated.
That is correct.
And I was told that they now have solar lights that, that cover that. So the solar
They do.
lights are on the pole itself, and they illuminate the flag overnight.
Yep,
And as far as the available budget you asked,
yep.
I have a total of $5,263.94.
Wow. So that's how much we have left?
That was before the last bill of $1,450.
Okay,
So if we take $1,450 off of that,
I'm surprised because last year we went into the red.
Yeah.
well, I think we're going to be going into the red next year.
So what happens if we still have money left in our budget and the fiscal year ends July 1st? Does that money go back?
Go back to the town?
Or does it,
I think so.
it does, yeah. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, I didn't
So
anticipate it.
we should, if we do anticipate it, we should try to use it before
Right.
then.
Tomorrow.
Obviously, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Obviously, there's no last minute preservation things we can
We get
do
a
today,
flagpole up by
but.
tomorrow.
Right?
I don't even know how much one costs.
I know.
Right, we'll do some preservation in short order here.
I would also talk to John and Adam Furno about that too, because they would know where they order their supplies for town, things like that, like their flags. They do all the other flagpoles, so
Correct.
they would know like where to purchase one.
And where to put it.
Correct.
Okay, after the last lawn mowing, I have $3,813.94. 3813.94.
Okay.
So, that would have had made a nice flagpole.
Flagpole. I mean, maybe you could put it across the way in the old section, like behind the DAR plaque.
Yeah.
Does that have the name of the veterans on it, or does it just
That's a
have the?
good question. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
if it
either.
does, or if it's just more general, but I'll have to take a look at that next time. I'm
Okay.
that way.
A&B mowing contract and receiving. I gave you the old one, the only one that I could find.
All right, yeah, so I called Brian of A&B Mowing, and I asked him if he had a contract and when the last time he saw a contract was. He told me it was about, according to my notes, that he's mowed the cemetery for 18 years. He last raised rates about 10 years ago to keep up with the, average costs. And he said he last saw a contract about 12 years ago. He told me that he was willing to write us a new one and send it to us. I'm not sure if he did. He said he would send us one to review.
I checked the box today, and,
There was nothing?
Nope.
Okay, he told me he would send it with a bill, but
okay,
we could keep an eye out for that. But from what it sounds like, he hasn't seen one in about 12 years. So this one is 2009 that you were able to find.
that's the only one I could find.
Which is quite some time ago, so.
And
if
it
this is-
does it stipulate how long the contract is for?
I think the town keeps them for 3 years, so the contract goes out every 3 years.
Does it go out automatically every 3 years, or
It's probably up to us to
put it out to
for
bid?
Yeah, Janice just
If you
keeps a
wanna look
copy
at
of it.
that, I'll pass it over, so.
Yep.
Look.
Yeah, and in here is, I think the bill is $850, so
So it's gone up,
a lot.
yeah,
I figured as much. I mean, gas has gone up, everything's gone up.
right.
All right. And I don't know, do we have to put it out to bid? I mean, those are things we have to ask too. Do you put it out to bid and
Yeah.
then pick somebody, or do you just keep renewing the same one
Right,
over?
I wonder how we would find that out. I wonder.
You could ask Janice.
Oh, okay.
Ask Janice. Janice
Yeah.
knows everything.
I mean, because I don't know, maybe it would be worthwhile just to check and see if there's any other interested-
Options.
Interested parties that might give us a good rate, or, I mean, we can always stay with the same person if he's still the best rate, but,
Right.
Yep.
But I mean, everybody is happy with A and B at this time.
Correct.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He does a great job, and he's local, so,
Yep.
I'm happy
So,
with
yeah, I
that.
don't have any complaints.
Did you mention to them not to,
oh, yes, I did mention.
And he mowed it anyway.
Oh, he did? Oh, no, because I did mention that we didn't want the crypt mode, and he said he could weed whack it, and I said I thought that would probably be okay, but I did let him know that we just want the what's on there to be able to grow a little more, so that it has roots, so that it holds the dirt in, because our concern is with the dirt.
I am concerned with the dirt loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I did explain that to him, and he said he wouldn't mow over it. He said if it got really long and shaggy, he'd go weed whack it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because otherwise I was going to send my husband down.
Right. Free labor.
Always. Besides, my husband likes to do those things.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so I think we covered that. And so Sarah, you're gonna poke around in that. You want to continue working on that A and B mowing thing?
Sure, I can, do you want me to ask ask Janice about
Yeah.
what we would do if we wanted to put it out to bid? Sure. And the only other thing I think I forgot to mention to him when I was talking to him, that we wanted to cut it less often, because he was kind of saying, oh, I come like only, I can't remember if he said twice a month he comes, but he was thinking that it was long at that point, so I don't know.
That's probably why we have a little more money too.
Right.
Because it was so dry
Yeah, so stuff
this
didn't
year.
quite grow as much.
Right, so he probably mowed less.
Right.
Because last year we were in the red at this time.
Yeah, that's what I
And
thought.
it was rainy last year, and I think he
Right.
was mowing.
Yeah.
Every 2
probably
weeks since
Probably
May.
it grew a lot less this year.
So-
I don't know if I wrote down how often he told me he'd been going, but I thought it was something like twice a month or something like that. But I didn't put that in my little note here, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm going by memory, and I could be wrong.
Okay. All right, I think we covered that. Buffer zone. I sent you all on your email a copy of the letter I wrote. I
Yep.
didn't quite finish it because I was concerned with other things at the time. But I did talk to Matt, I can't remember his last name, the man that took Bill Cundiff's place, who does the zoning boards.
Oh, okay.
And he requested a letter from the cemetery commission
Oh, okay.
to change, and then they will work on creating a buffer zone for the cemeteries.
All right. The letter looked good.
Did it look good?
I did read it, yes.
Simple, easy.
I think we
this is
should
what
sign it. Sounds good.
Okay,
I will make a vote to sign it.
okay,
How's that sound?
yeah. Well, I don't know, you think I should finish that?
Oh, well, yeah, you can.
Did it look finished?
But it looked good to me.
Okay, good.
I think you said what needed to be said, so.
Oak trees. I'm still talking about that because I'm trying to get the oak trees for free.
Oh.
So I'm still
okay.
kind of like working on that. You know, just 'cause I don't know how many whose property I can pick it off of.
Right?
So we'll just continue that.
Speaking of, well, I'll do new business after. Go ahead.
Okay, dog droppings complaint update.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Are there new ones?
I did see a new complaint on Facebook
I saw
that there were dog droppings on a person's plot that they weren't happy about, so.
This is in Douglas Center.
It's in Douglas Center again, yep. So I told them that I would bring it up at the next meeting, and I know last time we had this discussion, just to fill Lee in, because I know you weren't on the board yet, so we had a couple of prior complaints, about people walking their dog through the cemetery, not picking up after them, allowing them to,
Yeah.
make a mess on people's plots. And at the time, we had discussed whether we should put up signage as to whether we should have a pick up after your dog sign, just to give people a little reminder that they should be cleaning up after their dogs when they walk through. And the other thing we could do if we didn't do that is we could do no dogs allowed. And, I know people enjoy walking through there, and I love that we have, an active use of the cemetery by people visiting it, but unfortunately, if they're not, being respectful and they're not cleaning up after their dogs, I guess that's something, we'll have to consider, whether or not to still allow people to walk dogs through there. But the other thing that I'm not sure of is like how much enforcement ability we would have as far as that goes.
I mean, it's
like-
not monitored. so
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how, and
Right? And I don't know, I don't know if you could find people for not picking up, if that would make them a little more, cognizant of cleaning up after their dogs.
They also have these poles with a container on top that you can, and they have little plastic bags that you can pick up after your dog and then put them in there. I don't know if that's an idea that you want to. If it would be more meaningful than just signage.
Right. Yeah.
Or if it's going to cost the same for signage versus
Right.
a couple of those containers in there.
That's something to look into, I guess.
that is something.
And I don't know if people would then leave the bags,
Right.
because I've also seen that, not in the cemeteries, but just around town, people
Yeah.
I've
walk
seen
the
that
dog,
too.
pick it up, but leave it in the bag on the side of the road. I don't know why.
Yep.
But,
Put
yeah,
it on
so.
top of somebody else's trash.
Right. So that is a good idea, though. That's something we could look into to, see how much one of those would cost, maybe, or,
Yeah, we probably only need one.
yeah. And whether that would hopefully help. I mean, I don't know what
And-
doesn't,
you know.
I don't know what would motivate a person that's not motivated to clean up after the dog to
Right.
actually do it, but,
Well, I
Right.
think the sign should, if we get a sign, it should be like, be kind and respectful.
right,
Clean up after your pets.
Correct.
Right.
Instead of, you will be fined if you're,
right. Something a
Instead of
little
being
more,
strict about-
friendly, right?
Yeah. If you go after the sympathetic side there, respectful side, maybe.
Right,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because you're right, it's not monitored. How would you
Right.
even know?
yeah.
Most of the people that find those, they just find them and, I see people walk their dogs through there, but
Right.
I don't see like a ton. So,
I don't think it's something we should
squeak over.
stop completely,
The dog walking?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can. People,
And some people probably want the dogs to visit their relatives also,
Right.
But
but like you said, really,
Yeah. So, I don't know. I hope, people that use the cemetery for dog walking will please pick up after your dogs.
did any of them go in the other cemeteries? You haven't had any?
I've noticed it a couple times in Pine Grove. I haven't really visited South Street, so I can't say if it's much of a
Yeah, I've
problem
never
there.
seen
And, I mean,
anything in there.
with Pine Grove, there's not really like a walking trail, and I've seen very few people that go in there to walk their dog.
South Street too. I
Yeah, I
very
think-
seldom ever see anybody.
I think Douglas Center probably gets,
Because they have the little
more
pathway that
traffic.
goes from here to
Yeah,
there.
probably more people walk through there since it's a little bigger and a little more, friendly as far as place to walk. But
Yeah, I looked into the signs, and they weren't expensive. I think John Furno gave me a name of a sign company that he gets, like the little signs that he puts out here,
Oh, okay.
that he gets them. Otherwise you can just buy them off Etsy, but then you have to have the town reimburse it.
Right.
What if we
Yeah.
put on the, what's the Douglas Facebook webpage?
There's a couple,
Yeah.
there's like maybe 3 or 4 Douglas groups. There's like the We Are Dynamic Douglas, which is probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
And then there's
Dynamic Douglas.
a couple other
Yeah.
ones, like Discussing Douglas and
We could put on there just
a friendly
a
reminder.
friendly reminder
clean
by
up after your
the
dog.
cemetery commissioners to please pick up after your dog.
See if that helps. I mean, I think I put something out the last time and
Right.
didn't see anything for like a
Yeah,
couple of years.
it was
so.
quiet for a little while, and we hadn't had complaints. So hopefully we will not have complaints again if people will actually clean up.
But maybe I'll do that. I'll-
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll let you do that.
Thanks.
Trash cans, anybody have any ideas?
Well, we discussed it last time, and you all said that
There's no trash down there.
There's
I
no
have not,
trash.
no.
so it's not really necessary, but where you're talking about the dog droppings, if we're getting complaints about that, they may be more apt to put the droppings in a bag, in a can, or in one of those things that I was talking about. But again, somebody would have to empty the trash can also, so that's
So,
another.
yeah, you'd have to ask the town if they'd be willing to
Yeah,
do that.
so that's another. I don't think at this time we have to worry about trash cans.
You think so?
I guess I probably wouldn't worry too much about it. I think it would be like a good idea to have one if people want to throw away like old decorations or, they're cleaning up, like maybe, around Memorial Day when people might be there and they might have packaging from whatever they brought or whatever that they need to throw away. But the only other thing that I would worry about would be like where we pay for trash removal, whether people would put trash in there that's not from the cemetery.
Exactly.
Only because
Yeah.
that is also a possibility that we'd have to deal with. So,
If there was only 1 or 2 trash cans, I'd be willing to, empty them once a
Right.
week or take
Yeah.
them down to the recycle center.
right, like maybe something small and unmovable, like maybe like a small metal
Container.
container, yeah. I would think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, I don't know if we need to do it right away, but, something to think about.
Something to think about. Trash cans, so we covered trash cans. We have to review and approve last meeting's minutes. Anybody have any adjustments to the minutes from last month?
Nope.
All right.
All right, so I make a motion to accept the minutes as written,
I'll second it.
and Sarah seconded it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. New business. Did you have something for new business?
Yes.
Okay.
In the corner of Center Cemetery, where it's the corner of Main and the furthest corner from, coming from this end. Do you know what I mean? The old-
Southeast
old
Main?
section. Yes.
Yes.
Up in that corner, there's a tree
Yep.
that is 85% dead. And
That's the crow's tree.
the crow's tree.
The crow's sitting there, and they watch the common, and they watch all kinds of things from there.
Okay.
John Furno offered to take it down, and I said, nope, to leave it another year. It does have leaves on it.
It actually, right now, has a branch that is broken off and is hanging, so maybe I'll talk to John and just see if he can take off some of the dead
He
branches.
doesn't trim.
Huh?
No, he doesn't do any of the work. He fields it out to the same company that trims the sides of the roads for the electrical wires. And they'll either take it down, but they won't, or they'll just share it. They won't do what you had wanted to do. You'd have to hire somebody to do what you want to do.
Of course.
Is the branch like, does it look like it's in danger of letting go, like it's gonna
Yeah,
fall?
and there's old stones
Like
up
it
there
could
that
hit
could get
something?
knocked over.
Yeah.
That's all right, they're my family.
Oh,
They are. They're all Dudleys up there.
Okay.
So they're all my relatives. So if they fall on them, they're all set. I'm gonna leave my crow tree there.
oh,
The crow tree's already lost one. The crow's already lost one tree
Oh,
this
really?
year.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they're very upset.
they need a good perch, right?
They do.
And I've heard that bluebirds do love dead trees too, so.
Yeah. I had an arborist, Samuel Foppema from Whitensville, take a look at it, and he said it's fine. It's not in danger of, there is some rot to it, but
Okay.
it won't come down tomorrow. If it does, I'll have my husband go down and pick it up.
Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing I had was, somebody told me about old stones being in the red house gazebo, the gazebo that's behind the little red house that's...
Gravestones.
Gravestones, yeah.
That is correct.
What did I say?
Old stones.
Old stones.
Are they stone wall stones, or are they gravestones, or are they just stones that people just chuck in the windows?
Headstones, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Are we doing anything about them, or
They've been there for years.
is it because we don't know where they belong?
That is correct. And they are broken. There originally was a shed in the cemetery, and that's where they were.
Okay.
Whoever originally picked them up and moved them to the shed didn't leave us a note to where they were originally located. So I have no idea where those go.
Okay. I was thinking, because the Little Red House and gazebo are not long for this world, so those stones are going to have to be put someplace if we can't find where...
The Little Red House,
Huh?
not the gazebo.
They're in the gazebo now, but isn't that all going to be demolished eventually?
I don't think so. Do you think so?
Oh, yeah. It's a safety hazard. The red house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I asked John Furno, he said there was no plans for that.
Well, I know that they're waiting till they have enough money to do it, but it will eventually be coming down. But anyway, I was going to say, maybe we could eventually move those broken stones, headstones, into the
Receiving crypt?
what?
The receiving crypt?
The receiving crypt.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be, like, anywhere that they're securely stored that's safe, I would say.
the ones from Cemetery Street are in the Jenks barn.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I know I'm missing a few
Yeah,
there.
they're in
that
they're in the Jenks barn.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to know where they have those broken ones, I think Shirley Cooney might have some in her house too. Yeah.
Right, I'll have to look into that, because
Yeah.
I know there was a couple that were broken and were not where they were, wherever they did belong. They used to lean up against the granite posts.
Yep.
And those have since disappeared. They were on the marker survey that got started in 2010, and
And now they're gone.
now they're not there. So, yeah, so there's at least 3 that we're missing. I do have the names that are on them, so I was thinking it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe at some point, if any of us have spare time to maybe catalog the ones that are in the screen house there.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that have been removed and no one knows where they are, just in case at any point, you know.
They're hard to read because a lot of them are just like there's a piece. Have you gone in to see them?
Yes.
There's a piece of like a name.
Yeah, and they're worn, the lettering is worn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those were actually in the shed that was there probably 20 years ago. And they probably
So
were
they've
put in that
been there
shed
quite a
40 years
while.
ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to catalog them, just so we know what we have there in case
Yeah, and if there is.
we ever
anything-
find another piece somewhere and we say, hey, this goes here,
If
you know,
there's any
or,
that are legible, we'd have a record.
right,
Yep.
right. Not a bad idea. I mean, I wouldn't mind working on that project.
Okay.
I know I'm still not done doing the Pine Grove survey, but, well,
pretty
we
close,
are,
though,
the
aren't you?
field work on it is done, but we just never, we want to reorganize it in a way that makes it easier to research through.
What if you just did it on Find a Grave?
Yeah, I did add them all to Find a Grave as I went along, so we have both the hard copy book that belongs to the DAR and Sue Perkins, and then we have, you know, I added all the people that I put into the survey, I also put on Find a Grave at the same time.
Okay.
And I have photos of every stone in Pine Grove that was present,
At a certain time.
finish the survey.
Yep. Yep. Yep, Douglas Center, I think is done too. Except for the new section that I have the deeds for, so.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, those have been in there, a long time.
That would be a good little project.
Yeah, Adam Furner wouldn't just throw them away. If anything happened or something, he would notify me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to have them somewhere secure too, like just to
I don't know if
keep them out of the elements.
the dirt floor in the tomb isn't gonna do them any good
Oh,
either.
is it?
So, yeah, it's a dirt floor.
Oh, okay. Does it get
Wet?
wet when it rains?
Probably.
Yeah,
So I don't know how secure that would be.
Right.
There's a lot that is still falling down
yeah.
in the cemetery that are just laying on the ground. As a matter of fact, they've grown over. Sometimes when you're mowing, you can feel one underneath there. So,
And it's amazing how quickly things will become so overgrown that you can't find them.
correct.
Like, when we were doing the marker survey for Pine Grove, I actually found a few that were not anywhere of record. They weren't in the previous survey. They weren't,
Yep.
you know, anywhere, but they were
Me
there
too.
in the ground, and I only noticed them by chance that the ground felt a little different in one place than another, and I did a little scraping, and here was a flat marker that no one had remembered about, you know, so there was a couple in there like that, and a couple that aren't actually attached to anything laying on the ground, and the grass has grown over them, and if you didn't know they were there, you wouldn't know they were there, you know what
That
I
is
mean?
correct.
Right.
You know, so, yeah, I mean, one time I thought, oh gosh, maybe we dig them all up and put them somewhere, you know, like a Bob. You shouldn't remove them from the place where they are, though.
Right, right.
No.
Yeah, I
Because-
definitely agree with that, because that's how you end up with a building full of
Stones.
headstones that you don't know where they go, like we
Nope.
have.
Correct.
So I would definitely agree that they should stay where they are. And I actually find that if you place them face down, even though you can't then read them, the inscription will last longer. It will be better
Saved.
preserved facing the ground than it will
Oh,
be.
because
if
the
you
acid
face it
rain
up.
eats them.
Yep, because there's a couple in Pine Grove that they're facing up on the ground and they're basically unreadable. You can't read the epitaph.
The acid rain.
And then there's ones that have been facing down for I don't know how many years, and when we did the survey, we picked them up just to read them and copy the inscription over into, you know, the survey. And those were like, they looked like they were carved yesterday, because they've been face down for who knows how long.
If you want a good stone, buy a slate stone. Those last forever.
Right.
Those never get worn out
Right.
or damaged or anything. There's only 2 people I know of that do those.
Oh, wow.
There's a lady in Rhode Island that does it, and there's a man in Millbury
Oh, no kidding.
that does slate stones, like
Oh,
the old
wow.
1700
Yeah.
ones.
Oh,
And he does
wow.
them by hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
That's a skill. Hey, you take classes in it.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, take it as a business. That's my poison ivy.
Oh, no, yeah, I've got some too.
Yep.
I don't even know how I got it. I didn't do any yard work.
We can pull
but-
it up. That's what I do.
And speaking of stones, can we use some of them, of our budget to, we discussed this last meeting, to repair some of the broken stones?
I would love to do
While
that.
while they're still there, while they're still next to the base?
Right.
Sure.
I would love to do that. There's definitely ones that need it, probably in all 3 of the cemeteries.
Oh, we probably have about 500 to 1,000. I am not kidding you. Wouldn't you say about that? Yeah.
Probably quite a few. I know
Yep.
there's quite a few in Pine Grove, including, like, there's one whole family plot that's just been,
Gone.
it like totally, all of them are broken in the entire row. One of them is missing, and it's a large one, so I don't know where it is. It hasn't been there as long as I've lived there, but it's,
Yep.
the base for it is there, the headstone is not. And by the family, I can tell it's probably the wife, because it's between the husband and the son, and it's,
Probably.
I'm gonna guess that's who it is, but.
I mean, how do you
it's just
pick and
my-
choose?
Just my guess,
You know?
right? Yeah. I guess you just have to start somewhere
Yeah,
and
start
see how
somewhere.
far you get, even if we could do a couple a year,
Yeah,
but.
You know.
Yeah, didn't I have a name?
yeah, I thought you
President-
said you had a name of a,
A preservation person that would come in and do them?
yeah.
And I mean, I know there's also volunteer groups, like, because I don't know how much someone gets to do those things, but, I've worked with a group in Rhode Island that I think is Blackstone, they're through Blackstone Valley Historical Society, and I don't know if they work in Massachusetts at all, but it's mostly like just volunteer people that have learned how to do it, and, they go out and do it, and a lot of the lots that they work in are in worse shape than ours, believe it or not, in, the Rhode Island Historic.
Depends on where they are, yeah.
Right, some of them are really, really neglected, but, I think for budget reasons, probably the best way we could go is to try to organize a volunteer effort to do it, and then we would just have to pay for materials, for the
Right.
cost of, the proper stuff. I know I had sent you both a link to Sutton Historical Society
Yes.
had sent me, they had a group working on their cemeteries, and they forwarded me some information about an upcoming workshop on, preservation. I can't remember who was putting it on now. But it's basically, it's like a workshop seminar thing on, the taking care of the stones, repairing the stones, that kind of thing. So thought it would be useful if anyone were interested in going.
Let you look at those. Those are the inside of your tomb. I
Oh.
took those in 2009.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can't wait to see those.
Yep, so you'll see what it looks like from inside
Awesome.
there.
I was curious about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to do a little tour someday.
No, I think that's a good, you could put that on our next agenda,
That's true,
as
actually.
long as it's not pouring.
Right.
As far as, we discussed last time, branches falling from the trees and that are just, and the lawn service company does not pick up the branches, they only mow the lawns.
Well, my husband picks them up.
I know, well, I contacted the highway department, and remember we discussed maybe they could have a place where I could bring them, or we could bring them, the dead branches. And there was a pile that your husband probably did under the biggest tree in the very center of the cemetery. There was a pile of dead branches.
Down on Southeast Main Street, by the gates that go in?
It right smack dab in the middle of the cemetery.
Oh, no, that's not, I don't think that's his.
The road that goes from Southeast Main all the way up to the first entrance, halfway down on the right, there's a maple tree. They were under that. Anyway, I called John Furno, he said, just tell me where they are, I'll pick them up.
Okay, yep.
So he did.
He did. No, he's very good that way.
Yes, I know.
He will do little things. He just doesn't have time to mow the cemetery.
Right. All right.
Okay, that's,
Awesome.
All right. Let's see, plantings. One of the things that I would like to see planted in the cemetery are native species,
Right.
as opposed to something that would take over a cemetery. So I am asking you all that we can make that a reality.
Yes.
As opposed to
Right.
just a suggestion.
Yeah, I think we could put it in our, I know last time we kind of circulated the last flyer that we had, and it listed a couple of rules. And I
Yeah.
thought we should probably go over that,
I think I have one here.
whether we agree with the rules that are in there, whether we want to change the rules, if we want to add to the rules. And I have no problem with, making one of the rules that any direct plantings in the cemetery be native and non-invasive, because I know how the invasive stuff can really get out of hand, so. And I didn't know if we wanted to discuss container-only plantings, like allowing people to plant but only in a container. I know a lot of places have that, so, you can't put a tree or a shrub or something huge directly into the ground. You can,
No, because it takes over.
keep it contained, right?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, I had a call from a man that his sister pulls out the trees every year and he replants them every year. But they were there before, long before. This is an old grave site from probably 60 years ago. That was his grandparents, and I mean, what do I tell him? He can't have those there, or, I mean,
Right.
there's a lot. And there's a lady right to the left of the tree. If you see her gravestone, she has a landscaper come in and trim all the little branches and
wow.
remow and reseed any grass that's right there.
Wow.
She lives in Chicago, but that's
Oh.
where her gravestone is.
Oh,
Those aren't in pots either.
okay. Yeah, I guess that might be a
The
problem.
other thing is.
Unless we say like, what's there is grandfathered and going forward, we would like
We could do
container-only
that.
plantings?
Is that something that we want, though?
That's a good question. I mean,
It's a
like, I
good
don't like being
question.
too restrictive, but the only thing that I would worry about is that somebody would plant something,
A Norway blue spruce.
right, something that will get large and
I think I would notice
outdated,
that.
Right. And that it might, years down the road, if they, after they pass on, it's still there and it's growing and it knocks over their tombstone. I mean, maybe I'm thinking way too far ahead, but,
No, we do have a couple of those, too, but
Right.
those were probably planted in the 20s.
maybe we could restrict it to 3 feet, a 3-foot high bush or plant, or that's the only thing that can go in the ground,
right,
No trees,
beyond that.
you don't want trees with the roots and the branches unless we're planting them where we know they're going to be in.
Right. Where they won't encroach on another
But I-
plot,
But I
Over time.
I don't think it, being out in the country, so to speak, that we should ban all planting in the ground,
Right.
People like that, and
We should also tour the cemetery, because we still got all those rose bushes that
Oh,
the cemetery commission a few years ago planted, and they're all
Oh, no.
overgrown and
oh,
pickery.
right. Yeah, I guess that's what I would worry about the most with planting, is that, like, if they're not upkept, they might
Right.
get out of hand.
Or that it would cost the town
Right.
a considerable fee to
Right,
maintain.
exactly. And if it
You know?
goes into someone else's plot, then it might be a problem, if
Yeah.
you get roots in somebody else's section. The other thing that was on the previous rules was no eternal lights. Personally, I have zero problem with people that want to have eternal lights. I don't know why
I
they would
have no
be
problem with them either.
ruled
I
against.
don't either.
Oh, good.
The other thing is,
think maybe we
people
should
buy
update
that
that.
plot of land, they actually purchase that plot
Right.
of land, and they have a deed to that plot of land.
Right.
So in my mind, as long as you stick to your plot of land, you can put whatever little dollies. The only concern I have is if they dry out and blow away, and then the lawnmower gets caught by
Right,
a piece of debris,
right,
like the metal stakes,
right. And I would just, like,
because that's a problem for the mower.
the only other thing I would also add is that, like, any seasonal
Pick up after yourself.
decorations be removed in a timely manner, because, like, not in any of our cemeteries, but in some other cemeteries I visited, there's like, people will, go decorate for a holiday and then forget
It's still
about it.
there.
And you go in June and someone has a really dead Christmas tree, and it's like,
Orange
okay.
Christmas trees.
Right,
Yes,
so, yeah, just,
yeah.
I guess that would be my only
So
rule there.
can we make a new
Yeah, we could
rule
work
and
on that.
regulation
Yeah.
folder?
Right, maybe we could have a new flyer printed if
Yep,
possible. With our information.
yeah, this is
and-
2012.
Yeah.
With our information and with the rules that we're proposing, like, native plantings, no invasives especially, I would say.
Yeah, and there's certainly like a lot of books on, you can go to the Native Plant Trust and see what are native to this area. I mean, people, there's plenty of information out there on that, so.
And how about, we brought up last time memorial benches, like if someone wanted to have a bench on their plot as opposed to a headstone or along with a headstone.
Some people do
Would
have
we-
benches.
Oh, okay, so we wouldn't have
I don't have a problem with that.
problem. Okay, me neither.
Would you have a problem with a headstone and a bench on the same plot?
I think as long as it's within their plot,
I
I wouldn't.
I
As long as it's within their plot,
Right.
yeah.
Because most cemeteries don't allow both. It's one or the other.
Right.
And I have a problem with that because
Yeah, right.
you
I-
want the headstone to read everything nice, like,
Right.
and a bench is a nice place to sit and visit,
Right, right. Yeah, I've seen some pretty strict regulations, like depending on the cemetery, where they only allow, one monument per plot, no.
We have to remember, those
This, that,
plots
or
are
the
8
other thing,
feet by
so.
8 feet. They're not very big. I mean, to
Right.
put a bench and a stone,
Well, it would have to be a small bench.
correct.
Yeah.
Right. But I think I think as long
As long as it fits
In
in your
their
plot.
plot.
Right.
I just don't want people poking other people's
Right,
plots.
right.
Right. Good, so we agree on that.
Yes.
Is there anything else on there? Let's see.
I also thought that I would let you all know, on Monroe Street, there is a family cemetery, the Thomas Family Cemetery, and the town actually owns that piece of land.
Oh,
So it could use a little cleaning up, tidying up. There's only about 4 or 6 headstones in it. It is very small.
oh.
I'll take care of it. Where's Monroe Street?
Is it in a wooded area, or is?
Yes, and it's right before the Flansburgh's property.
Oh. Was that wasn't the one we had?
That's the one you and I went and looked
Oh,
at.
okay, it was the one. Okay, I was
Yep.
going to say, did we go take photos of that one? I think we did. All right.
Well, before you agree to do that, because that's fine, there was a girl that contacted me that wanted to do some volunteer work in the cemeteries from the high school.
Oh, okay.
Kind of lost her telephone number, but I think if I dig far enough, I can find it.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
How those things go.
We need her.
Right, absolutely. If we have any volunteers that would like to volunteer for any kind of effort.
I mean, I'm
like
not
that.
saying you have to mow it. I would just pick up like all the dead wood.
Yeah, yeah.
And clean up a little bit, just tidy it up.
Is Monroe Street off of Main Street or?
There's 2 ways you can go. If you go on Davis Street, there is a little road called Young Street, which goes right on to Monroe. The other way you can go is if you go, like you're gonna go to Hannaford's, instead of going down Davis Street, you go down the hill and then up. There's a road on the right called Monroe Street. So if you follow that along, it's on the left-hand side. It's 48 Monroe Street.
You said Hannaford's?
If you go towards that way, towards Uxbridge,
Uh-huh.
that road that goes towards Uxbridge, Monroe Street is on the right.
Okay, not 16.
No, you can go that way too. It just circles in that area.
Okay. So it's closer to Uxbridge, it's close to Uxbridge, Monroe Street.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I also have to put it on the macros,
Oh, yeah.
so. I filled out a form, and Kate Grace told me she didn't like that form.
Oh, no.
She said, redo that.
Need a different form.
Well, the form is fine, she just told me I have too much words in it.
Oh, okay.
People don't like to read those things.
Did you add those to Find a Grave by chance?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I did, I even put the cemetery in.
Oh, cool.
And I corrected the guy in Sutton that did his up on 18 Bigelow Road.
Oh,
A guy from Sutton did all the ones in there,
yeah.
and took pictures of them all, and he put them in. Except he didn't put all the names in. So I don't know, I just have to work on that one.
Right?
There's like a 500,000 I have little pieces on.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. Is there anything?
Well, we
Web
got
interest
dogs listed
dogs.
here, but we
I
already,
think we already went over
covered
that.
We went
dogs.
over
I
dogs.
think that's covered, yep. So we just have to choose a future meeting date, unless there's any topics that are not reasonably anticipated 24 hours in advance. Anyone with new topics that you hadn't thought of previously?
Anything, nothing?
I'm good.
Me
no,
too.
but if we could find that girl that wants to volunteer's name,
Yeah, that would be
And-
good.
the people that repair the stones
Yeah.
voluntarily,
I'll reach out to them and see if,
Yeah.
like, I think they have a couple groups on Facebook, and I'm friends with a couple people that I've met through there, so I'll reach out to
I
them.
think they only do Rhode Island, though.
Yeah, I'll
maybe they
ask.
know somebody up
Right.
in Mass that does it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, it's Blackstone Valley Historical Society. I mean, like, technically, Blackstone Valley is between Worcester and Providence, but.
I think we tried to get them in Uxbridge to do some.
Oh, really?
And they said, nope, they
Oh,
stop
yeah.
at the border.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll reach out to them and ask. And even if they say no, we could maybe even possibly just ask individual people that,
The Association for Gravestone Studies might know somebody,
oh,
too.
yeah, okay. That's a good thing to look.
They're in Greenfield.
All right. Because like I've taken one, preservation workshop thing, like I might even try to go to that other one that they sent me there, because I'm sure I didn't learn everything in one sitting. And I've done a little bit of volunteering, but the thing that I've done like, the digging up of the fallen gravestones and the, cleaning of them, like with the D2 and the stuff that you use, and but I've not done like resetting them where you have to glue them back together with that special epoxy that holds the, broken pieces together. I haven't gotten that far into it where I've done that yet. I know some of the people have, and they came out pretty nice, but,
I wonder how long they last.
right? Yeah, there's a place called Atlas Preservation that has like a lot of the materials that you would use, like, different mortars and whatnot, like based on the kind of stone that it is. Like there's a specific one for marble that works only for marble and that won't damage it. Because I know I've seen like horrible things where people have used like concrete to try to repair a marble headstone, and the concrete's eating away at the marble because.
If you poke around the cemetery long enough, you can find them.
Yeah.
Douglas Center's got a lot of
Right.
bad repairs, I
Oh,
can tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah, so.
Cement,
Right, we want to avoid bad repairs, but, yeah. So, I mean, I know there's different special epoxies that this particular place carries that, are meant specifically to do the historic headstones and to do marble and softer materials than, you don't want to put concrete or cement or any of that, because it'll eat away, and you'll never get it off of the marble if you decide you want to do a better job later, it's stuck to it by that point.
I also learned something that I don't think any of us ever realized, that if you want to be buried in your own yard, you can do that.
Oh, really?
You have to note it in your deed that
Oh.
there is a small burial ground on that property.
Oh.
And you can actually bury yourself in your own yard and put a headstone there with Betsy and Milton Young's in your thing.
Oh, no
But you
kidding.
have to put it in your deed
Oh.
that is in there, so that anybody that purchases it in the future realizes that there's two people that are still buried there.
Oh, wow, interesting.
There's no law against that. You can be
Oh.
buried wherever you want.
Oh, wow. Very interesting fact.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my husband about that.
It's free. You
All
know?
right.
All right.
So do we?
Yeah,
wanna
you
do-
wonder about the future cemeteries. I mean, even if you do all the preservation work, how long do
Right.
they last? How long is stone supposed to last?
Right. And
You
I
know?
mean, some of the ones we have, they're going on 200,
300
plus
years, yeah,
right?
and they're worn down to nubs.
Yeah, right. It is interesting. Do we want to pick a future meeting date?
Sure,
All
Absolutely.
right, let's see what we've got. So we want to do one for July?
sure.
All right.
You just pick one and tell me when to come.
Let's see, how about,
I like this.
looks like I'm free for,
This is South Douglas. Lori charged it.
I'm pretty much free any Thursday in July.
That's fine.
So we want to go towards the middle or the end.
Yeah. Do you guys want to do the 21st or the 28th?
Yep, sounds good.
Any preference?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right, I guess to keep it about a month away, we'll do the 28th, if that's good. Do you want to say 10:30?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to add it to my calendar right now. So we'll say,
Does anybody want a copy of these? Because I think I threw out the last
Yes.
ones.
I want a copy of everything.
Oh, you can actually have that.
Oh, good. And there was the plot, you had the plots for Center Cemetery?
The plot layout?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
very small.
I didn't have the, I didn't,
Actually, you can keep that too.
okay.
I don't get
10:30 is-
involved with that. John Furno does.
10:30, if that works for everyone. That's
I
a
prefer
good time.
10:28.
Oh, okay. You can come at 10:28, we'll be here.
As
at
long as my
10:30.
sister doesn't need something.
Right.
When my sister needs attention, she does not take no for an answer.
Oh, all right.
Walked right
That's
in my
okay.
house.
That's all right, because I was actually running a little late myself, so I was like, okay. You texted me, I was still at home. I'm like, yeah, well, that's fine, we'll wait. All right, well, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 11:41.
Motion seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.